Okay, so get this, guys. I tried to just make a video over and over and over again to show you what's actually going on with these crazy YouTube channels that always continuously promise you that basically there's a fourth stimulus coming. And they just keep going on and on and on and on about this. Oh, it's amazing. It's coming. It's going to be here. It's going to be here right now. How wonderful. How cool. Here's the weird thing. The moment I went ahead and put something in there about YouTube channels lying, the moment I put something in there about YouTube channels not being genuinely accurate with their information, YouTube tried to essentially stop this video. It came up and said it would not be able to go ahead and stream this video. I don't know if YouTube is watching this or what happened, but I tried to post the videos before. You guys probably saw me trying to post it over and over. It came up, it wouldn't allow me to show it, wouldn't allow me to show it, and kept coming up with this error message saying that I could not stream this video. I guess they're going to allow me to do it now. I changed the wording a little bit. But bottom line, here's what you got to know. Howdy, guys. Howdy, Patrick, Annette, Lily, Wendy, Lori D, Nanny Anderson. Hi, Verona. Howdy, howdy. So here's the deal. It's official that these fourth stimulus YouTube channels that get hundreds of thousands of viewers who are constantly feeding them total BS about so many things. I mean, they have slight truths in them, but then there's so much BS going on from these fourth stimulus channels. They actually became the news. This is the first time that they have ever become the news when it comes to essentially the fourth stimulus. So let's talk about this. Patrick Hardy, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. $1.99, very, very good, very, very good. So here's the thing. When I tried to post this video, YouTube tried to stop me multiple times. It wouldn't let me do it. And finally, I had to change the wording. So now let's go through it. Fox News 61, they posted an article today. The title of it is, "No, a fourth stimulus check has not been passed." Subtitle, "Despite claims made in YouTube videos about a fourth stimulus check being passed, Congress has taken no such action." And this is posted 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or no, it's EDT time, November 2nd, 2021, by Nate Hansen. I just want to point out real quick what's going on here, just so you guys understand specifically. The YouTube channels that talk about stimulus money, they get hundreds of thousands of subscribers because people like to believe in BS. That's why they watch crap TV, because they want to feel good, right? And fourth stimulus channels, they make them feel great. I am less popular because I tell you guys the truth, and the truth stings a little bit. We'll do a couple of videos on the truth. It'll be fun. All right, let's read the article. Since the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic, Congress has passed 3 bills that included direct payments to millions of Americans, commonly known as stimulus checks. The 3 payments totaled more than $3,000 for eligible Americans. The most recent of those payments came in March 2021. Viewer Sally texted the verified team asking if a fourth stimulus check had been approved. She shared links to multiple YouTube videos that made the claim, including this one posted November 1st from a channel with more than 400,000 subscribers that says, "Big fourth stimulus checks passed." Data from Google Trends also shows there's been an increase over the past week of people searching fourth stimulus check passed today. So let's go ahead and search it. All right. So who had the wonderful video that said, and I mean, it's probably going to pop up with 5 or 6 different YouTube channels. That's how bad it is. They literally pass this stuff so that, let's see, I'll go to videos because, we need that. No, now they're filling the news here. CBS News is on this. KVUE, News Center Maine, CBS News again, WFAA, WIR. Now they're all on top of this, that there's no fourth stimulus. I mean, wow. Wow. All right, so here's what happened, guys. You've got all these BS channels creating this information, giving people hope about another $1,400 check, another $600 check, another $1,200 check. I used to believe that there was potential for another stimulus check, maybe right before the holidays, early December. It's like a month from today, right? Early December. Yeah, I know. I saw the ridiculous amount of money that they're trying to send to illegal immigrants or legal immigrants that will be, made into properly documented U.S. citizens. And Patrick Hardy, thank you again for the $1.99. I really do appreciate it. So guys, my big thing here with this channel is not so much about immigrants. It's more about the disabled. If I see it affecting specifically the immigrants, affecting the disabled, I'll make a video about it. But I don't have any answers when it comes to immigrants and how they're trying to put millions upon billions of dollars into immigration. I know illegal immigration costs anywhere from 50 billion to 275 billion. I know that 275 billion could fund both the SSI and SSDI program to boost all SSI people to 100% poverty level and 125% poverty level for SSDI people. I know, I get it, I see it. I think it's ridiculous and horrible too. There's not much I can do about it. So let's keep reading about our lovely. They finally called him out. Fox News 61. All right, so here we go. So viewer Sally was very upset. What we found, a spokesperson for the IRS told Verify that a fourth stimulus check has not been passed. The IRS and U.S. Department of Treasury have information on their websites about how people can receive the 3 previous stimulus payments if they haven't already, and makes no mention of a fourth payment. The previous 3 stimulus checks were part of legislation that was passed by Congress and signed by the sitting president. The first check for $1,200 was part of the CARES Act, passed in March 2020. The second check, $600, was part of the spending package that was passed in December of 2020. The third check for $1,400 was including the American Rescue Plan, passed in March 2021. I don't know if you guys got it. I got a letter from President Biden saying how he made his promise come true about giving the Americans $2,000, even though he didn't pass the $600 stimulus. He's like on the tails of Trump with that one. But I'm going to do a whole video just on that letter that I got, because it shook me. When I read it, I was like, what is going on here? Let's keep reading, though. Let's have a little fun. A list of laws passed by the current Congress is posted online. Yeah, congress.org or congress.gov. A review of those laws shows there's no additional legislation that includes stimulus payments. In March 2021, a group of Senate Democrats pushed for recurring stimulus payments to be included in President Joe Biden's Build Back Better agenda. But recurring payments are not part of the Build Back Better plan framework the Biden administration released on October 28th. Let me just re-summarize that, guys. Patrick Hardy, thank you again. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. That's awesome. That's really awesome. So what's crazy here is that essentially you have YouTube channels lying about a fourth stimulus being passed. Hundreds of thousands of people who subscribe to these channels that lie to them just week after week are so excited, but at the same time concerned that they're reaching out to legitimate news centers. And those legitimate news centers then had to reach out to the IRS to check to see. I mean, they could have just gone to congress.gov, but they had to reach out to legitimate agencies of the government to ask them if a fourth stimulus had passed. The government responded, hell no. Biden doesn't support that. He's not on for that. He pulled any option of that out of the future stimulus Build Back Better plan. We're looking at, new water systems, new highways, rebuilding bridges. The disabled didn't make the package. I'm so disappointed. You should be too. But nobody's talking about that. I don't know why. It's weird. Let's keep reading. Let's have some fun with this thing. All right. So in March of 2021, a group of Senate Democrats, but recurring payments are not part of the Build Back Better plan framework the Biden administration released on October 28th. I'm going to do a video specifically on that. When asked in June 2021 about the possibility of a fourth stimulus check, White Press House Secretary Jen Psaki downplayed the idea. President Biden is happy to hear from a range of ideas on what would be most effective and what's most important to the economy moving forward. Well, I don't know, funding the American people to keep them, buying things. That's like how you pump prime an economy. You give money to the people. You don't let it trickle down. You just give it to the people, and they buy stuff with it. That's how you pump prime the economy. Apparently, the White House, in their brilliance, did not think that's how the most simple, basic formula for economics works in the United States. Mind-boggling, I know. It's confusing how they come to the decisions they come to. But he's also proposed that what he thinks is going to be the most effective for the short term, for putting people back to work, to getting through this pivotal period of time, and also to making us more competitive over the long term. Climate change? Excuse me. When you have a country that is reeling from a pandemic, reeling from an endemic, you're not all about climate change. You're not all about rebuilding the roads. What is going on here? Patrick Hardy again, $5. Thank you so much. I can't even keep up with you. That's amazing. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. So what's going on here, guys, is that you got YouTube channels lying, being disingenuous, but flat out lying to all their subscribers just to get a little more cha-ching from the views. Let's keep reading. Blah blah blah. We know Psaki had a cover for Biden there. Was again asked in July 2021 about a fourth stimulus check. Her response focused on the supportive measures of the American Rescue Plan instead of on another round of payments. Some states like California have sent direct payments to certain residents in addition to federal stimulus checks, but a fourth federal stimulus check has not been passed. The federal government funded California, and then they claim that they had a surplus from all the amazing things they're doing. California is bankrupt. It's bankrupt. They don't know what they're losing. Everything that's huge as a company. They're losing all the Elon companies. They're losing all of the mega computer processing / program-based companies. They're losing all that stuff. Oracle, the guys who built most of the stuff for the government computers. Guys, California is like a big facade. It is when you look into the desert and you see literally as a starving person a small island with water and perfect, beautiful, clean water. That's what California is. It's mirage. It's something that can't exist. There's too many people that are basically not working, too many people getting a benefit. It can't support itself. Like at some point, these politicians just have to be real with everybody. In order for the disabled to be able to continue to receive their disability benefits, you have to have a lot of people working and not a lot of other auxiliary types of benefits taking from the pot. Is there any group that you guys can think of beyond the disabled, right, that deserve funds more than the disabled? I can't think of anybody. Like the only thing I can think of in like a Build Back Better plan that might go a little bit higher than the disabled people would be making sure that our nuclear arsenal and technology is up to date, right? Mass destruction, potential harm. Just doing, there you go, man. I like that name. That's awesome. $2. Thank you. I appreciate it. Rosa Soda. Wow. $19.99. Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Guys, I really appreciate it. I just got back from New Jersey where I was doing a lot of weed whacking with one of those push weed whackers under the fence where the horses are. And unfortunately, poison ivy got stuck basically down my shirt and my whole front body is covered. I even have it on my forehead and on the back of my wrists. It covered in this horrible poison ivy. But anyways, the point is this. So the bottom line is that there's no fourth stimulus in the talks. There are not even Democrats really pushing right now for it. Like back in July, they were pushing that fourth stimulus forward. They're not anymore. There's none of that anymore. These YouTube channels got so out of control with their lies that it became news to traditional legacy news stations like Fox, News, to go ahead and say, wait, guys. Now, here's the harm. You have literally people out there who are taking loans, who are taking favors, who are setting up plans to go ahead and spend the money when there is no money coming. I would like all of you guys to figure out for me, is there anybody at all that you can think of that deserves funds to take care of them than the disabled Americans that we have? Is there anybody else? Help me out here with this Build Back Better plan, right? We have to essentially make people go back to work, and we have to fund those who can't work. Like, those are the two things. Like, if you had a slinky and you went like that, that's the two things that go back and forth. You have to send people to work to make money, to pay taxes, to help pay for in a modern society, right? A socialist capitalist republic, right? Which is essentially what we are. We're that. Well, sort of. Then we also have monopolistic capitalism, which is like your your mega stores, your Walmarts, your Amazons, your Home Depots, your Lowe's, your whatevers. But the bottom line is that's how it works. Yes, seniors are part of the disabled. The SSI over 65, those are disabled seniors. Seniors retired. I agree. To me, that's part of the whole. Even though it's its own separate IOTA-based, trust fund. Yeah, I can think of that as the same thing. You're right. Seniors. Who do you pick more? And that's the reality: is that seniors deserve a check that should be higher. At least the baseline brought up, and then everybody gets a little bump. SSDI people. God, we've been talking about the Social Security 2100 Act for months. For months. Nobody's willing to pass it. It's got so many co-sponsors, nobody's willing to pass it. The Democrats have the House. They got the Senate. They got the White House pen. What is going on? I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, look, here's the thing. I thought when Biden became president that the SSI Restoration Act, the Social Security 2100 Act, were a shoo-in. We're like a shoo-in. Now I know that this guy pulled the benefits for the disabled from the program that they were going to push. You can still go back to the original website that voted this guy in. It talked about creating caretakers for the disabled that were family members, that it was going to pay for those who were disabled. It talked about amazing things for those who can't work. It talked about creating an entire class of individuals who could help take care of their family members, specifically and most helping women who would not be able to work because they had to take care of somebody. It was incredible. The ideas that were on the pre-presidency website of this person right here were incredible. And now we find out, hey, the $1 trillion deals, we're pulling the disabled people from it. Hey, the $1 trillion deals, retired people, you're just not going to be in it. Hey, just because there's 30 co-sponsors in the House, 30 co-sponsors in the Senate, and not only just co-sponsors, there were groups upon groups of nonprofits who threw support and money behind the Social Security 2100 Act, the Supplemental Security Income Act, and now they're doing the math again. Now the Social Security 2100 Act isn't like hey, the trust funds are going to be solvent until 2100. No, they're like, it might be solvent, we might get another couple decades out of it. Hey, now look, we all know that the YouTube channels, that a lot of them, they have mega subscribers because they lie to people about what's going on. Or they'll tell a truth, but they'll swing it and maneuver it and twist it and wiggle it until people are like, oh, it feels so good. It's amazing in my head. But there's a problem, guys. I can't get, look, I'm all for liberal people helping people, but that's not what we have now. That's not the Democratic Party. Look, guys, why are immigrants at the headline of all these news stations when the disabled who have to take on, without choice, a vow of poverty? Why do the disabled have to literally live in poverty when they're already Americans? They've been ruled severely or extremely disabled and unable to work, and then we put upon them a vow of poverty. They must take it because they have no other choice. It's homelessness or vow of poverty. Does anybody understand what's going on with this? I thought I understood it. I thought I had a pretty good understanding as to why the Democrats would do these things, etc. Now, look, I see the Brandon thing there. I see that. I get that, and I see some of you voted for Trump. I totally see that. I see some of you voted for Biden. I don't care who you voted for, but here's the problem. Here's the big problem we face, guys. Trump does not support heavily the disabled. He more supports the retired, but the disabled he really doesn't support. He doesn't. I don't know how to convince him. I've actually been watching videos because I just got back from my vacation. I've been watching videos on how to convince wealthy people an investment is a good idea, like sales tactic videos. And you know what I've learned? Wealthy people don't think like the rest of us. They don't. It's a totally different mindset. It is a I have so many cows, so many chickens mindset. The poor, they're like, I hope this person's cool. I hope this person's okay. I want them to be okay. I need to eat. How am I going to eat? That's not how the wealthy think. The wealthy think it's, I have this many widgets. I can sell them for this. I have this many Bitcoins. I can sell them for this. That's how they think. It's just totally different logic. Which then brings up something I realize, which is massively important that people just do not do, which is that the disabled typically have lower education. Now, a lot of you guys have higher level education. That's fine. But think about the logic of it. A great large percentage of disabled people do not have financial literacy. So they can't make smart choices about their finances because they don't have a financial literacy. They don't have an education in it. Then on top of that, you have the fact that they can't make investments with SSI and they are stuck with more, even worse than a vow of poverty. It is a vow of poverty through slavery. They can't make things. I had a discussion after the last live video that I did with a gentleman who was found disabled. He said I helped him a lot and that his other attorney didn't, whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is he was found disabled. 2 thumbs up. He brought up an amazing point. SSDI rules say, hey, you can make money off of stocks, right? And it shouldn't hurt you. And then I said, wait, but what about the whole self-employment rule thing and the elements and the 4 things they look at and the blah, blah, blah. And then he and I got in this huge conversation about basically how it worked. His attorney said, yeah, you can go ahead and do as many investments as you want. It's going to work out great. And then I went through the thing with him. I looked up the statute with him. This was all after that last live when I couldn't like make it come back on. I had like a 45-minute conversation with him. And what I realized is that SSI is a form of financial slavery as an impoverished person where we make them take a vow of poverty. And that's it. Their whole life, it's that. Unless they magically get medically better, but I mean, let's call it like it is. Is the surgery, are the surgery options on Medicaid really that great? No. No. Is our medical treatment at the level where we can cure a lot of these heavy-duty impairments? No, it's not. I have a conversation with every person that wants to sign up for disabled individuals, and I tell them right up front, I tell them, guys, when you go in for your medical treatment, don't expect this to be a cure. Don't expect this to get you better to the expectation that you have in your mind. Everybody thinks when they go into the hospital that they have magic, right? Like if you open the hood of a Tesla, you're like, there's magic. It's not magic. It's a lithium-ion battery going into a motor. It's not magic. Hospital, they went to the natural things. They broke them down in a machine. They figured out what affected your body specifically from those natural remedies, natural cures. They slapped a label on it, sold it to you, sold it to the government, and made billions. That's it. It's not magic. None of this stuff is magic. When you think or watch or see these other YouTube channels presenting information where you're like, I don't know, maybe not, please just go to the Congress website. Just Google it as to what they're saying. You're going to find out that a lot of the stuff they're coming out with, their insider edition stuff, is total BS. They're talking about, oh, I spoke with somebody on the Hill about this, and they're saying blah, 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 blah. Guys, if you want to know if something's going to pass, the president's going to be talking about it. The Speaker of the House is going to be talking about it. The Senate Majority Leader is going to be talking about it. That means it's probably going to pass. If you don't have everybody, including the news, talking about it, it's not going to pass. You know why? Because the politicians know in a masterful way how to manipulate the American people, and they are gurus at it. They're the best of the best. You want to know what the great sadness, the great tragedy of the American country is, the American people? It's that our politicians have figured out, like a Hollywood movie, when to make you happy, when to make you sad, when to distract you, all that stuff. Can any of you explain to me, anybody at all, why at this point we don't have the disabled having exactly what was promised to them by this man. Can anybody please explain that to me as to why he has not made good? If he's willing to throw trillions on the table, you need literally another $60 billion to raise up SSI people to the 100% poverty level per year. That's it. That's it. You realize how little that is compared to how much we make as a country? You realize how much, look, there's a metric out there where they took all of the top 1% of the billionaires, or they took all the billionaires and added up their money. It wouldn't even, if we took all the billionaires' money, it wouldn't run Congress for that long of a period. It's not the billionaires at this point. It's literally the politicians wasting money, throwing it away. I don't get it. I don't understand it. What I would like to see are essentially politicians being held to a standard of completion. And that if they didn't complete certain things by a certain timeline, and they can be reasonable, they don't have to be completely done, but they have to reach certain benchmarks, that they be thrown out of office, that they be terminated, that they be fired. I don't think politicians should have the right to be elected and then not do what they said they were going to do to remain elected. I want to see them working. I want to see sweat equity. I want to see blood equity. I want to see them pushing. I want to see them passing laws, pushing laws in committees day and night. I don't want to see vacations that are longer. Look, one of their vacations, let's take a small one, is longer than I will have for a multi-year cycle of vacations. Okay. I don't even think term limits are enough. I think we need to hold them accountable to the things, 10 bullet points. They got to do them by a certain thing or achieve certain things with those 10 bullet points, or they're out. They're fired. That's it. That's how it works in the corporate world. If I don't get people found disabled, I get fired. So I have to get people found disabled. Same thing with corporate. If they don't sell 20,000 widgets by the end of the week, that person gets fired. But politicians, I got all these great ideas. Hey, I got all these great ideas. You should love them, right? They throw it out. Hey, you know, everything's amazing. They sell you the oh, this is going to work. It's going to be great. Oh, but the reality is they're not accountable to the American people. All right, so I have been studying. I have been learning specifically about what's going to happen going forward. I just want to show you guys what I've been dealing with. I had a check issued to me pertaining to, and I can't show you all the numbers, pertaining to essentially me filing for nonprofit status. It was essentially returned by the IRS. Let me see if I can show you this real quick. Here we go. It was essentially returned. Hold on. I'll have to zip out some of this stuff. Whatever. The bottom line is this. It was essentially returned, and they want me to refile now for nonprofit status. I got YouTube not letting me post this video. I got the IRS trying to kill off the nonprofit. I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? Why are they in control of this? At what point did we allow the government to be something that we could not truly overthrow in a peaceful way? All right, guys. Let me see if there's any more to this article so we can finish it up. No, that's the rest of the article. That's the whole thing. Bottom line is the YouTube articles, they essentially went forward and lied to the point where, unfortunately, at this point in juncture, we now have a situation where they're making news. And you know what? They'll probably get more subscribers for lying about the fourth stimulus. So let me set the record straight. I'm just going to end it right here. Very simple. End it right here. Here's the one. Patrick Hardy, thank you. Thank you again. Thank you. So yeah, for dog rescue, I hear you. Like literally, they sent me back a check, and I'm just like, I'm just cranky about it because it's like, guys, let me, they're gonna have they're gonna have literally space colonies out there by the time they give me my nonprofit status. But anyways, the point is this: there is no fourth stimulus. None of the politicians are excited about it. None of them are trying to pass it. What's going on in the government right now is it's re-election time. Democrats are trying to retain power. Republicans are trying to take power and take the majority in the Senate. I doubt they'll get the House. Bottom line is this: there is no fourth stimulus on the table, but there is a small period where you might see that change. And that change is going to be over the next month when both sides, Republicans and Democrats, are making ridiculous promises that they throw something on the books to get you to love them. If the Republicans get enough in the Senate, President Biden becomes a lame duck, and we're not going to see stuff for the disabled. If President Biden gets the House and the Senate, gets to keep them, who knows? We may also not get to see any changes for the disabled or the retired. I don't know what to do. Look, I would run for Congress if I had enough self-hatred for my own sanity. But I don't want to do that with my life. There's another problem too. There's a lot of people in Congress that don't actually know how to write a law. I've started to realize that. Faith Moore, thank you. I appreciate it. $1.99 donation, I really appreciate it. There's a lot of people in Congress who don't know how to write a bill, who don't know how to write an act. You guys don't know this, or maybe you do, but the congressmen and women hire on third-party groups to create legal documents, these acts and bills, as legal think tanks. And then the Congress people, they read them, and some of them, these Congress people, don't actually know how to decipher what's written in them. That's scary. That is like, wow. So I don't know. I don't know what the fix to this whole thing is. We're going to continue to push the nonprofit for the disabled to vote for the disabled. That way, basically, they can all come together and know who to vote for to push through certain people's House and Senate members to get the rules through. I don't know what's going to happen going forward. Biden might resign. Biden might stay president. There might be a switch up with the House or Senate. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. If Biden becomes a lame duck because of essentially him losing the Senate, then nothing's going to happen. He could retire and go enjoy his life, right? You could put Kamala in there and let her try. I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't know anymore. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be doing 3 videos tonight. I am super worn out. I literally have poison ivy so bad on my body that my stomach has actually swollen to the point where my belly button is closed from just massive poison ivy. And I was weed whacking with a push behind weed whacker under, I did about a 4-acre field, but it was multiple times because I had to go under this fence. And some of the poison ivy got down my shirt, and it is literally, I could have walked outside without a shirt during Halloween and scared most people. So I will catch you guys a little bit later. Catch up with me at the next video. The next video is going, like, it just gets more weird, you know? Either way, guys, I hope all is well. I will catch you a little bit later. I really appreciate for you guys checking in. As always, if you guys could help me out with those 5-star reviews, if you haven't left one, I always appreciate those. They're in the bio below of how to leave a 5-star review. I will catch you a little bit later. Thank you. I appreciate the care about especially the poison ivy, because guys, that messed me up. I did not realize how bad I would get allergic to that, but whoa. I mean, it's everywhere. It's all over my wrists. It's on my forehead. It's everywhere. But Tina S., thank you. I really appreciate it. So guys, catch me at the next video in about 10 minutes. I'll pop on in the next video, and then we'll go from there and catch up with me, and we'll have a good time. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.